He died and asked for a peaceful life. But in a world of magic, monsters, and evolving enemies, survival became his only goal. And this was just the beginning. Rio wakes up surrounded by clouds, with an angel calmly standing before him. Without much of an introduction, the angel tells him the obvious. He died. And yes, it was yet another victim claimed by the infamous Truck-kun. But instead of heading to the afterlife, Rio learns that he's being sent to a new world to start over. No grand mission, no prophecy, just a second chance. The angel, Michael, explains that Rio is free to live however he likes. Rio says he's looking for a peaceful, slow-paced life, and Michael seems happy to arrange that. He gives Rio a brief explanation of the new world he's heading to. It's called Phi. Magic exists here, and about 20% of people can use it through their natural elemental compatibility. Rio's strongest affinity is with the water element, which fits his laid-back plans. To help him settle in, Michael sets him up with a house protected by a monster-repelling barrier, and includes a helpful book filled with information about local monsters. He also adds a frozen storage room stocked with 2 months of food and a guidebook for identifying dangerous beasts. Rio won't need to worry about surviving for the first few weeks. Curious about his magic, Rio heads outside and tries casting Water Ball. A sphere of water forms instantly in his hand. Surprisingly, he realizes the spell also works without saying the words. He can cast it just by imagining it. With magic under his belt, he gets ready to enjoy a bath. But there's one problem. He can only heat water to a lukewarm temperature. Not ideal. He tries to start a fire to heat it properly, but fails, lacking basic survival knowledge. Frustrated, he lies back and stays up at the sun until an idea hits him. He compresses water, removes its heat, and slowly creates ice. After some practice, he shapes the ice into a magnifying glass and uses it with sunlight to start a fire. It works. Using that fire, he warms his bath water and ends the day feeling accomplished. After this small success, Rio figures he should learn how to heat water with magic directly instead of relying on tricks. The next morning, while eating, he realizes that his food will eventually run out. Hunting will be necessary, but a knife won't be enough to defend himself. So he starts working on offensive water spells. His first attempt is simple, shooting a water ball at a tree. It hits, but it's too weak to be useful in combat. He tries to improve the impact by concentrating the water into a tighter, more pressurized stream. The idea makes sense, but the result is barely stronger than a squirt gun. He remembers Michael's advice. Magic relies heavily on imagination, so Rio spends the next few days practicing. Slowly, his water jets become more focused and powerful, though not enough to take down monsters. Meanwhile, he manages to learn how to heat water with magic, allowing him to finally take proper baths, though controlling the exact temperature still needs work. The next morning, he shifts focus back to ice magic. This time, he tries creating ice from thin air instead of cooling down water. It's difficult, slow, and inefficient. Combat-wise, it's not reliable yet. Still, he keeps practicing. Hours later, he collapses from mana exhaustion and decides to take a break. The following morning, after recovering, he's right back at it. Over the next few weeks, this becomes his daily routine. Eventually, he gains enough control to create ice instantly, making it finally usable in a fight. With magic training finally paying off and his food supply getting low, Rio heads into the forest to hunt. He follows a trail of animal footprints to a river and finds flint along the bank, which he can strike against his sword to make fire. He also collects some detox herbs for safety, but while exploring, a low growl stops him in his tracks. A lesser boar appears, staring directly at him. For a moment, Rio freezes. The boar charges. Just before it reaches him, he snaps out of it and dodges to the side. Regaining his focus, he quickly creates an ice path to make it slip, followed by several sharp ice spikes that kill it instantly. After processing the meat, he checks the monster guide. Turns out, the lesser boar is the weakest monster in the forest. The book is designed for beginners, so most entries are basic, but 2 pages at the end stand out. One describes dragons, creatures capable of wiping out entire cities. The advice is simple: if you ever encounter one, run. The second entry is even more vague. It just says, demon, with the only information being that if you see one, you're not going to survive. The next day, Rio returns to the forest for more hunting. While he's distracted, a giant hawk ambushes him from above. This is no ordinary bird. It's an assassin hawk, and it uses wind magic to slice through its prey. Rio runs while creating ice shields to protect himself. He knows these birds are dangerous, but escaping won't be easy. He launches a water jet in retaliation, but the hawk dodges easily and attacks again. Rio reacts quickly, forming an ice shield that cuts the hawk across the eye. It crashes crashes to the ground and then flies away, wounded but alive. Before leaving, it glazes at Rio, clearly remembering him. Now, it has a score to settle. Although he survived, Rio realizes this isn't the peaceful life he imagined. During the chaos, he got lost deep in the forest. While trying to find his way back, he stumbles upon a glowing lake, and in the middle of it stands a Dullahan. It notices him, and now it begins. Rio continues his training. His water and ice spells become stronger. He can now hunt and preserve meat easily. His water jets can even slice through stone. But he's also been doing something unusual. Every night, he returns to the glowing lake to fight the Dullahan. It's not in the guidebook, so it's either not a monster or far beyond beginner level. The Dullahan never speaks, but it clearly outmatches Rio in skill and power. Still, Rio treats each battle like a training session. He blocks with ice shields, attacks with ice blades, and gradually improves. One night, the Dullahan extends its blade using water magic, then hands it to Rio before walking away across the lake. It says nothing, but the gesture feels like a silent sign of respect. Later, while hunting again, Rio is suddenly attacked by the same hawk, but something's changed. Its feathers are now black. It has evolved. It launches a barrage of wind slashes, instantly shattering all of Rio's ice walls. Panicked, Rio runs while building more barriers. When he finds an opening, he counterattacks with ice spikes, but the hawk dodges effortlessly. Then it screeches, a high-frequency sound that disrupts his magic. All of his shields vanish. Hovering in front of him, the hawk begins charging up something stronger. Rio feels electricity building in the air. A lightning bolt fires directly at him, but he quickly uses a stick as a lightning rod and jumps aside just in time. Still recovering from the shock, Rio braces himself as the hawk dives. He pulls out his ice sword and parries. After several fast clashes, he finally spots an opening and drives the blade through the hawk's neck. It crashes to the ground. Standing over it, Rio doesn't feel triumphant. He understands it. The hawk lost its eye to him before. It came back stronger just to prove it could win. But Rio had trained too. This time, he was stronger. Heading home, Rio is suddenly blocked by something massive, a dragon. He freezes, remembering what the book said. But instead of attacking, the dragon speaks telepathically. It says it's looking for a black hawk that flew through recently. Rio realizes it means the one he just fought. Nervously, he explains what happened. Surprisingly, the dragon isn't angry. In fact, it's impressed. It notices the sword Rio's carrying and recognizes it as belonging to the Fairy King. For the king to give away such a weapon, Rio must have earned it somehow. The dragon chats with him for hours, answering his questions about the world. Before leaving, it thanks Rio for the conversation. It had been a long time since it met someone this interesting. Back in the afterlife, Michael is reviewing paperwork when he spots something strange. Rio was given a hidden trait, eternal youth. That's rare. So rare that the last time it happened was 10,000 years ago when a certain girl was sent to Fee as a hero. And that's where episode 1 ends. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and sub for the next episode.